Hello, welcome to Last Month This Happened, where I completely stole this off Memeless, but oh well. Anyways, I say inspired, but I basically was watching a bunch of old Memeless videos, and I was thinking to myself like, oh yeah, I should probably do something like that. And I want to do more commentary in general, and I want to do more videos outside of gaming as well, I feel like. Especially this one in particular. I want to do more Fiverr videos. I want to get straight to the point. So here we are. Let's start with some smaller stuff first. Dan and Phil are apparently going to be appearing on the Shut Up I'm Talking podcast. Can't wait to watch that. Dan TDM is doing a radio show, Classic FM. Well, I don't think doing, but he's going on there a good couple of times. He's going to be reporting on video game music, which I think is going to be well of a laugh. I think we'll show some clips.
Well, I've made it. My very first time on Classic FM, the home of my brand new show, all about video game soundtracks. You might recognize this is The Legend of Zelda.
Company Landfall. Now, if you don't know what Landfall are, those are the guys that make Totally Accurate Battle Simulator and Content Warning, one of my favorite games. Well, after making a good couple of videos on them, I would sometimes post the thumbnails of them on Twitter, and Landfall likes my posts. Woo! The 50 series graphics cards. If you've not been following with GPUs or nvidia, basically nvidia is going to be releasing the 50 series graphics cards, which were coming out on the late of January. The 5090 is not fucking worth it. Just honestly, strategy for this. Wait until all of them release and shit. They get rid of their old graphics cards. You go on eBay, find 4090, and hopefully then it's like $1,000 instead of 1,300, and just fucking buy that instead. Going into about more fun things, the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch 2 has been announced. It doesn't look very different, I will say. I mean, there really isn't much about it I could really talk about, since we only had, a 3-minute animation of the Switch 2, of it being like, 0.2 centimeters bigger. The Joy-Cons were a bit more bigger. The USB-C is on top instead of the bottom. I mean, there really isn't fucking much. But, however, there is one big thing. Apparently, the specs. There is no official statement about the specs, but from what I'm hearing, the same specs as a PS4 Pro. It's going to have 12 gigabytes of laptop memory, a fairly decent CPU, a GPU, for what I remembered anyway, is the rival of, I think it's a 2080 Super? I'll pop the picture anyway on screen for you to see. I think this is going to be well sound, and while I will never fucking buy it, or perhaps only would in the future, I don't know. I just very much like Mario Maker 2. Yeah, I think I just might stick to that. I think it's pretty cool. Speaking about pretty cool, apparently the new Xbox and PlayStation consoles will be releasing soon. And I'm not gonna buy a single fucking one. So, there is more news on the Xbox version, as that, apparently anyway, it might be releasing next year, which I'm very, very glad for. They need to release some. The Xbox Series lineup wasn't the best. I mean, it had like fuck all games. There's like no games on that fucking shit at all. There is not much competitive stuff. I mean, there is no really exclusives at all. I'm not much complaining, since now I'm mainly on PC. But I mean, consoles need to sell, and so does a subscription, and they need a subscription in order to make the profit. To do that, you mainly need the console. I mean, you can do it on PC, but I mean, I don't really see much people I know of really doing it. Apparently the PS6, we don't have much news about that. Probably like, I think also near a year or two. And finally, the last bit of news, Honey. Now, if you've been living under a rock, I'll tell you, Honey's been in a lot of problems as of recent. In a nutshell, it's been basically scamming its users, thinking that the users were getting a better deal compared to what they would of just finding it online just by going through some websites. I like to note that some of those websites were quite a bit dodgy. If you want to try and do that, do it at your own risk. Honey normally finds coupon codes, you put them in a website, and bada bing, bada boom, you save money. It's pretty easy and quick. One problem. it steals the money from creators as it replaces the URL that you normally have from it and replaces it with their own, making them money. Now, personally, I can't even really speak high of it anyway, since every time I used it, it never fucking worked. It was basically just me spending about 10 minutes realizing that shit don't work, and I have to go to an actual website and test the code from there and see that worked, which also, they don't work. YouTubers. I know I'm copying this bit off Memeless. I don't know if you could tell, it's very clear, but I wouldn't call a shout out since I'm very small and a dead audience, but there's a guy I know of in particular. I think his name is on YouTube anyway. I think it's called Potatoes M, and he does mainly voiceover videos, and I think his Waluigi ones in particular are very spot on. So if you want to have a check at them, please do. I might put some bit of clips of it there and there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Ta-da now. Ta-da.
Excuse me, my good man, could you put some into my soup? Why, of course, sir. Thank you, my good man. Would you also like some in your water, sir? Why? Why, that sounds delightful. Once you're done with that, my good man, could you just pipe it straight into my mouth? This ordinary animal will be Waluigi, into the perfect leader for my Waluigi's commanded... What the... He's alive!
You goddamn moron! How are you still alive then? Why didn't you die in hell instead?
Well, those spirits somehow helped. Wait a minute, do you want me dead?
Yes, for ruining my life.